Welcome back with a smiling face. Links to previous episodes are given in the video description, so don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video. The Girl in the Woods. Episode 9. Chapter 76 to 84. Chapter 76. All those things changed after I started performing at football. Football changed my life. It gave me a reason to live, Shane said, looking at me. Everyone started to recognize me for my skills and respect me. Everyone started to love me. I was no more the dumb twin brother of smart Sarah. Nobody really cared about my studies anymore. I became popular. Everyone wanted to be my friend. Our parents started to love me, he continued. I was just listening to him. He is right. Everyone loves him and respects him for his extraordinary talents as a goalkeeper. Other than my parents, no one really cares about his academic performances as well. Even if you couldn't play for the university team for 3 months, none of those factors will be changed, Shane. They can ban you from playing, but no one can steal your talents. I said. That's true. But you know, I had very high hopes about this inter-university tournament. We had a very high chance of winning it too. Now we are going to completely miss it. He told. I know that's really painful to even think about. But Shane, you can do your best next year. I said. Some of the major football clubs have shown their interest in us. Especially on me, Jake and Luke. If I get the chance of playing for one of those clubs, that will be a lifetime opportunity for me. They will pay for all my football wants as well as my university fee. I actually don't have to worry about getting a job as well. This tournament was my chance to show my colors. But now these have stolen that golden opportunity from me, he said. He was worried and furious at the same time. He has all the right to be like that. This is indeed a golden opportunity for him. Not just for him, for my parents also. Both Jake and Luke are from high-class families. They don't have to worry about their university fee or spending money on football. Even if they don't complete their degrees and they don't play football at all, they still have their father's businesses and their money. But what I have, Sarah. Our parents work there every day to pay for my education and sports. My whole life, I have only seen them working without any rest. When am I going to save them from this burden? His voice was filled many emotions. Without even knowing, my eyes filled with tears. I knew that Shane loves my parents. But I had no idea that Shane cares about them this much. I never thought he is such a sentimental person. Maybe I haven't spent enough time with my own brother to understand his true self. He seems to be a lot different from what I have imagined of him. I just wish I know why he hates me this much. I am willing to do anything to make everything right for us. I need my brother, and it seems like he needs his sister too. Now, I don't even know what to do, Sarah. Luke is there lying on a hospital bed far away from me. All my best buddies are suspended and banned from playing for the university. You know, Bob's dad has even got a heart attack after hearing this. I have never felt this disappointed in my whole life, not even when I was a kid. What, Bob's dad got a heart attack? Oh my God! How is he now? I asked worriedly. Fortunately, it was not that serious. But he is still in the hospital. Their family was going through a rough period, and this just fueled up the bad situation. Shane said. I couldn't stop tears running down from my eyes. How many lives have been affected because just one person wants to get revenge from an innocent person who doesn't have to anything for the miserable life he is having? This is so wrong. Sarah, Shane said gently. I looked at him. He then hugged me totally unexpectedly. I am glad that I have you to share my feelings, he said. His voice clearly said that he meant every single word he said. For the first time in my life, I cuddled up to my twin brother and cried my eyes out. God! I miss you my whole life, brother. I know I should not even think of happiness in this situation, but I cannot help but feel comfortable when you let me get close to you like this. Let's stay strong, my brother. Let's see what we can do against this unfair decision. After Shane left my room, I couldn't just go to sleep. My whole mind was occupied with so many thoughts. My heart was aching for all the people who got affected by this injustice. Around 2 a.m. in the morning, my phone rang. The call was from Jake. No need to say my heart started to beat furiously, thinking why he is calling me at this time. Sarah, his voice raised. There is a problem, no doubt. I can say it from his voice. Jake, Luke's condition got serious once again, he is again transferred to the ICU. He talked in a hurry. What? How that happened? He was totally out of danger. His dad called me. I am going there now. I will call you in the morning, babe. Don't worry, okay, he said. Okay. Jake. Take care. Please call me as soon as possible, I said. I had so many things to ask from him. But I didn't want to make him waste his time. After he cut the call, I felt like my whole world is collapsing. I couldn't think of any reason why his condition got worse once again. Luke's cheerful smile was flashing on my mind. Should I inform Shane as well? Yes. I think I should. I went to his room and knocked. Yes, his voice raised with the first knock. He was not sleeping either. Shane, I said. Come, I opened the door and entered his room. He was sitting on his bed. I switch on the light. What happened? He asked. Luke, I said. I couldn't let my voice out without crying. What has happened to Luke? He hurried to me. His condition got worse again. He is transferred to ICU. What? How that happened? He screamed. I don't know, Shane. I can't understand anything. Who told you? He asked. Jake, I replied without thinking much. I know I have to be careful about me and Jake. But this is not a time to worry about those, right? Is he going there? He asked. Yes. He is already on his way, I replied. Okay. I will go now, he said in a hurry. Now, I asked. Yet. I can't waste even a second. He replied. Shane left within like 10 minutes. He asked me to inform Mom and Dad in the morning. I came back to my room. I felt like I was in the middle of the fire. I didn't know what to do or what to think. My phone rang, after some time. I quickly grabbed it, thinking it might be Jake. But it was the devil. It was from Mr. Patterson. The time was 4 a.m. There is no reason for him to call me now. Whatever he has to tell me now, I was not in a mood to listen to him. So I didn't answer. Even if I answer, I don't know how I should speak to him. I was in so much anger and disgust towards him. I just lied on my bed until the morning without getting any sleep at all. In the morning, I got ready to go to university. I was not in a physical or mental condition to go for the lectures. But I was afraid of making Jake worried about my education as well. Jake called me when I was on the bus. How is he? I asked as soon as I heard him. He is still in ICU, Jake replied worriedly. What doctors said? I asked. He is still unconscious. But doctors said he is getting better. How his condition got worse all of a sudden? I asked. Someone has called him, and told him about the situation at the university, Jake said. What? I asked, wondering who has done that kind of a stupid thing. Jake said he has informed everyone in the team not to tell anything with Luke. Doctors had advised not to give him any shocking news until he gets fully recovered. But this has done the exact same thing. He has started to act violently, saying he needs to go back to the university and meet his friends. After some time, he has got unconscious. Jake replied. God! Who did such a stupid thing? I asked. I don't know. But if I know, I will surely kill him. He said furiously. I met Sally before the lecture. I told her what has happened. When I was talking with her, I got a call from Mr. Patterson. This is the 4th time he called me. I just put my phone into silent. He sent me a text as well, saying he needs to talk to me. But I didn't want to talk with him at all. I can do anything to protect the people I love. I won't think twice before sacrificing my life for them. But I was not ready to let Patterson win this game. After our first lecture, I was sitting at the canteen with Sally. Both of us were so worried. Even though we didn't talk anything, it was a comfort to sit near a person who is going through the same mental battle as me. I saw a clerk from the faculty office coming towards us. Sarah Anderson, he asked, looking at me. Yes, I said, standing up. Mr. Patterson asked you to come to his room, he said. What? Now he has started to send people to get me? For what? I asked. That man looked at me annoyingly. How am I supposed to know? Is that even a question you should ask when a lecturer asks you to come? These students don't have any manners at all. I can complain about you, he said angrily. I am sorry. I didn't want to be rude. I will go. Thank you for the message. I said. There is no reason to be rude to a person who has nothing to do with my anger. I will go to meet him, Sally, I said to Sally. Okay. Do you want me to come with you? She asked. No. That's okay, I said. Anyway, I can't avoid him forever. He is a lecturer at this university. Let's see what he has to say. But if I say or do anything that I should not, it is on you, Mr. Patterson. I went to his room and knocked. Come, he said. Oh. Sarah. I am so sorry to hear about your friend Luke. He is still unconscious, isn't he? He asked, as soon as he saw me. How does he know about Luke? It is you who called him. Reveal the news, isn't it, Mr. Patterson? I asked, trying my best not to slap his smiling wicked face. Chapter 77, Oh. Sarah. I am so sorry to hear about your friend Luke. He is still unconscious, isn't he? He asked as soon as he saw me. I was stunned by his question. How does he know about Luke? It is you who called him and revealed the news, isn't it, Mr. Patterson? I asked, trying my best not to slap his smiling wicked face. His smile got widened with my question. I actually adore how smart you are, Sarah. That's one thing I like so much about you, he said. Are you even human, Mr. Patterson? He was fighting for life in a hospital bed. Yet, you chose him as a pawn to get what you want. I screamed. I was totally out of control of my emotions. I was raged and I was crying at the same time. Don't you think he deserves to know what has happened to his beloved friends? On the other hand, they all got into this mess because they wanted to take revenge for him. Mr. Patterson asked calmly. I never thought you could be this cruel, Mr. Patterson. You knew that doctors have advised not to give any shocking news until he is fully recovered. How you thought giving him this news at this time is what he deserves. I am ashamed of myself for not being able to understand your true self. I was totally fooled. You are not a nice and friendly person as you pretended to be. You are so evil. I screamed even louder. I didn't give a sh about who am I talking to or where are we. I don't think I have ever been this angry in my entire life. Sarah. Calm down, and take a seat first, my dear, he said in the same calm voice. My dear. Don't you dare call me my dear. I am not your dear or anything, I yelled again. Yet. That's true. You are not. But who knows what will happen in the future, Sarah, he said. In the future. Nothing is going to be changed in the future, you jerk. I hate you, and I will hate you forever. Sarah. Please take a seat. You can't solve anything by being aggressive. Let me talk to you, he said again in a pleading voice. You know what, Mr. Patterson? I have nothing to talk with such a heartless person like you. I don't even want to see your evil face, Sarah. It is my cursed destiny that made me a heartless person like this. Don't you think it is unfair to talk to me like this? He asked in a disappointed voice. Oh, really? So you are telling me it is Jake and his family who are responsible for your evil behavior? You have done nothing wrong, all the faults are with them. God! Wake up, Mr. Patterson. Jake or his family has nothing to do with what happened to your girlfriend or to your mother. Deep down your heart, even you know about that. But you just want to pass the blame to someone. You need a purpose to live, and you think taking revenge from an innocent family is the purpose you want. I screamed. He was staring at me for a few seconds like he saw a ghost. Innocent family. Is that what your lover boy told you, Sarah? That they didn't do any harm to my Lily or they have nothing to do with my mom's death? So you believed him, he asked after that. He didn't say me anything, Mr. Patterson. But I believe from all my heart that he or his family never did anything wrong to you or anyone you loved. Don't try to blame others for your destiny. I said. Sarah. I can understand that you trust your lover more than me, but what you trust is not always the truth. Also, I don't care if you believe me or not. They have stolen everything from me. Now, it is time for them to pay. I will make them pay by any means that I can, he said. Mr. Patterson, your fight is with Jake and his family. Why do you make many more people suffer because of that? What Luke, my brother, or other innocent guys have to do with this? I asked. I don't care who gets hurt in the process, Sarah. No one cared about me when I need help. Now I don't care about anyone too. He said. Yet. I know that. I just asked a stupid question. You are not a human to have sympathy for others. I said sarcastically. But I know you care about everyone. Don't forget you still have a chance to save all your loved ones, he said, laughing. No, thank you. I don't want to play your game at all. If you are done talking, I may go now. I said. There is no harm in listening to what my offer is. After that, you can take any decision you want. I usually don't let people deal with me in that way, but for you, I am making an exception. You know why? Even if I said I don't care about anyone, I actually care about you. I don't like to see you are getting worried, he said, looking right into my eyes. If you really care about me, you may never act like this, Mr. Patterson," I replied immediately. "I have done nothing wrong to you, Sarah. I said I care about you, not that I care about your lover boy or anyone else. Enough of this now. Do you want to hear my offer or not?" he asked. What should I say? I wanted to storm off from his room after asking him to foo off. But is that the right move to make? Many people are suffering right now, and there is no solution we can even think of. As he said, there is no harm in listening to his stupid offer. I can do whatever I want after that. Don't call me a dumb girl. You should face the same situation I am facing right now to understand my mental status. Okay. Mr. Patterson. I am ready to listen. I said. I knew it. I knew you would take the right decision, he said, smiling. I am not agreeing to whatever you are asking. I am just ready to hear your offer. That's all. I said annoyingly. Cool down, Sarah. I know that. Now, take a seat, he said. No need. Just tell me. I will revoke all the punishments those guys got. They will be just suspended for 2 weeks from the university. They can continue their academics after that, and they can play for the university team even during those 2 weeks, he said. What I have to do from my end? I asked. Nothing much. You have to come for a function with me, that's all, he said, smiling. What? Come to a function with you? I asked suspiciously. Is he willing to do us such a favor for just taking me to a function? That is totally unbelievable. Yes, that's all. Don't worry, that is not some kind of an underworld function. It is kind of a big function where respectable people attend. I just want to take you as my date. Just going to the function. What do I have to do there? I asked, still not believing that he will create such a mess to take me for some function. That is totally insane even for him. Nothing. You just have to come with me. I will give you your dress, shoes, and everything. I will even take you back to home before it gets late. Also, I promise you I will not even touch you during the function, he said. What is this function? I asked. That's the tricky part, Sarah. I cannot tell you about the function, other than it is a highly sophisticated, completely legal function. You are not allowed to tell anyone about my offer or this function. If you tell someone, I will get to know, and things will get worse even more than you can imagine, he said. Without saying anything, I stayed there. The way he explained it, feels like I have nothing to worry about. But why can't he tell me about the function, and why he asked me not to tell anyone? Am I going to get into trouble by accepting this offer? God! What should I do now? If I don't accept it, that means many people have to suffer. When I see them going through that pain, it will surely kill me, thinking that I had a chance to help them. What should I do? I know, it is not easy to give an answer right now. I will give you till tomorrow. Go home and think about it, he said. I nodded. I don't know if I can make a decision by tomorrow, but it is better than saying anything right now. When you make the decision, just think about your poor brother who has no life beyond football. Think about your parents who are going through a lot to pay for your brother's studies. Think about those other guys who are going to get their academic and sport lives ruined. Finally, think about your lover boy and his gay best friend, who loves him with his life. Do you think Luke can bear it when the person he loves going through so many troubles? When do you think he will able to get a complete recovery with all these troubles? The person he loves. How he knows that Luke is gay and he loves my brother. Patterson really knows everything. You came between both of them, Sarah. Don't you think if you were not there, Jake will love him eventually as a boyfriend? He asked, smiling. What is he talking about, for God's sake? To whom Jake will love as a boyfriend if I was not there? Don't act all surprised. Don't tell me you don't know that Luke loves Jake way more than as a friend, he said. Are you insane, Mr. Patterson? There is nothing like that, I screamed. I am not insane, my dear. Luke loves your lover boy. If you didn't come the middle of them, I am pretty sure Jake will also start loving him eventually. Can't you see how much they are close to each other? You have completely taken away all the hopes from poor Luke. Don't you think you should at least help Luke get recovered this time, after everything you did to him? He asked, with that evil smile on his face. Chapter 78. I was already in a complete mess, where I couldn't find a way out. What Mr. Patterson just told me knocked me down completely. Did he tell me the truth? I came out of his office, with a burning head. I didn't know what should I do anymore. Anyway, I cannot go to the lecture now. So I went home. I called Sally on my way to let her know. She sensed something is wrong from the way I talked. She asked me if she should come and give me a ride home. But I refused. I wanted to be alone for some time more than anything else. There is a lot to process. There was no one at home. That was a relief. I directly went to my room and collapsed down to my bed. I suspected that the person Luke loved is Jake, didn't I? But Luke convinced me to believe that it is Shane. Why I believed him? I was such a fool. I should have known that there is no way Luke loves a person like Shane. I knew exactly how much Luke hates Shane for treating me like SHT. On the other hand, from the way he talks about Jake, I could have understood it. How many times he has said that he is willing to sacrifice his life for Jake. I don't know how I missed all these details. After all, I have acted super dumb during the recent past. I even sympathized for that jerk, Patterson. I really hate myself. I thought I am at least smart, though I am not beautiful. But it seems like I am the dumbest girl on the earth. However, as Patterson said, did I really come between those two? If I didn't come to Jake's life, will he actually fell in love with Luke? Maybe that is true. Jake loves him so much. I clearly saw how he reacted when Luke got injured. He didn't even think about himself, he just wanted to get revenge for what they did to Luke. They know each other for all their lives. Though I am not aware of many things in Jake's life, Luke knows every single little thing about him. Luke can understand Jake way more than I do. Luke must be really hating me. I actually destroyed all the hopes he had for Jake. Holding my head from both hands, I broke into tears. I am trouble for everyone in this world. Even my parents and my brother would have a better life if they didn't have me in their lives. Jake and Luke will also have a better life with each other if I was not there. Why I was born to this world. I can never have happiness or any comfort in my life. Not just that, it seems like the people around me also suffer because of me. Maybe I should leave. To somewhere, no one can ever find me. I don't know how long I was crying while thinking all these. I heard my phone ring. It was from Jake. First I thought not to answer because he can easily recognize that I was crying. I didn't want him to be worried. But on the other hand, I wanted to know how Luke is. So I answered. Hello, I said, trying my best to hide I was crying. Were you crying? His concerned voice raised. I can't hide anything from him. I didn't know what to say. Look, princess. I know this is really hard for you to bear. I wish I could be with you and comfort you, holding you to my chest. But I am so helpless. Princess. Right now, Luke's parents also need me here. Please forgive me. He said sadly. No. Jake. Please don't apologize. There is nothing for you to apologize. You should be there. I am crying because I am so stupid. You can do nothing about that, I said quickly. SHH. Never say my princess is stupid. You are not stupid, you are the smartest girl I know. You are just too innocent. But I love you for that. You don't even know how to treat people badly, no matter what they do to you. You know nothing about being cunning. You are willing to do anything for people you love. You are not like any other girl. You are so selfless. But these qualities don't make you stupid, babe. They make you unique. They make you so adorable. I am really proud that you are mine, he said. There is no doubt he meant every single word. However, his words made me cry harder. I wish he was with me right now. Please don't cry, princess. You know what happens to me when you are crying. Please, I beg you, he said. I was silent for about a minute, trying to stop crying. How can I cry and make him even more worried? How is Luke? I asked after the silence. He is still unconscious, Sarah. But doctors said he will get conscious soon. He said. How are his parents? Mrs. Bernards must be really worried. She even fainted. But now she is a bit okay, oh. God. Shane is so worried too. He didn't even eat anything. I didn't even think he cares about anyone this much, Jake said. It seems like this incident changed him a lot, I replied. I don't know how Luke will behave after he gains consciousness. Doctors said we should keep him as calm as possible. He should be on bed rest, he won't be even able to go to the washroom. But just imagine how hard it would be to keep him like that since now he knows everything. If we can revoke your punishment, that would be the only solution, I said. Honestly, it just came out without me even knowing. There is no way that can happen, Sarah. As far as I know, some of our lecturers have tried their best to convince the committee to at least reduce the punishment. But it was useless, Jake said. Let's see, Jake. Please don't lose hope. I wish I could be with you all, but it will create unwanted problems. I said. That's true. Don't worry, babe. You stay safe. Go to lectures every day. Clerk is there at my house. Call him whenever you need. I asked him to stay there because you are alone. Jake said. How much he worries about me. Though he has to leave in a hurry, he still thought about my protection. Jake, can I ask you something? I asked. Yes. What it is? If you didn't meet me in the first place, what would you do? He was silent for a few seconds. I don't even know, princess. I didn't know anything about loving someone other than my family and Luke before I met you. I started to learn everything because of you. It was not a month or two. I have been obsessed with you for more than 5 years now. If you were not in my life, I don't know what I will do or where I will be. Maybe I become a priest. He said, smiling. What a priest? Have you ever thought about becoming a priest? I asked with surprise. Not really. But I thought I would never marry anyone. Everything changed after I met you, he replied. Why you asked something like that? He asked again. Just asked. Okay, Jake, then takes care of yourself and take care of Luke, I said. Okay, princess. Take care of yourself too. I will call you later." After Jake cut the call, I again started thinking. So Jake didn't even want to get married before he met me. Maybe he could have stayed single, or there was a possibility of him fell in love with Luke in a more romantic way. He clearly said he didn't love anyone other than his family and Luke before he meets me. After all, I actually feel like I really came between those two. Still, Luke loves me so much. I am so stupid to even think that Luke would hate me. He has done so much for me, and he will in the future as well. Maybe this time, it is my chance to help him. For everything he has done for me and went through because of me. There cannot be a big issue of going to a function with that jerk, right? It is just a function. But it can save many people from getting into trouble. But I should not let Patterson make me a fool as well. I need to talk with him and get everything sorted out. I dialed his number. With the first ring, he answered like he was waiting for me to call him. "I knew you would call me soon," his voice raised. "How I know you would fulfill your part of the agreement? I don't think you have that much power to revoke their punishment," I asked. "You are underestimating me a lot, Sarah. But I forgive you for that. If you are not so sure, you can just wait and see what will happen. I will perform my part of the agreement before the function. But you have to keep your word and do your part," he said. "Can you do that immediately? I am so much worried about Luke. At least can you inform the guys that you all are going to reconsider the punishment for now?" I asked. "I can do that. Everything will be done with 2-3 days. So you are willing to take my offer?" he asked. "Yes, I am," I said confidently. "I know my decision can lead me to some very complicated situation as well. Jake would kill me if he knew this. But I don't see any other solution right now. Won't Jake or Luke do the same thing if they have to face a situation like mine? They don't hesitate to do things for me. This is my chance to help them. How can I be sure you will keep onto your word?" "What is the guarantee I have?" he then asked. "You have my word, Mr. Patterson. I promise you. I never break my promises. I know you are a good girl. But if I asked you to believe me like that, would you believe me?" he asked. I didn't say anything. "I won't believe him, there is no doubt. I know most certainly, that you won't trust me. But I trust you, Sarah." "You know why?" he asked. I didn't say anything. "Because you mean to me more than you can ever imagine. You may hate me, but remember, I will never hate you. So don't break my trust, please. If you ever break my trust, even I don't know what I would do. I will destroy everyone. I will kill you and then kill myself." He is not joking. "This is more serious than I ever thought. What have you got yourself signed up for, Sarah?" Chapter 79. The next day morning, I woke up with the same outfit I had last day. I didn't even want to take a wash and change clothing. I didn't even go down to the kitchen. It is really surprising why Mom or Dad didn't yell at me to come and cook dinner. However, I was just lying down on my bed until morning. But I hardly got any sleep. Even when I fell into sleep, I had nightmares, and they made me wake up sweating all over. One time I saw that Mr. Patterson took me to a cliff and pushed me down the cliff. Another time, I saw Jake was tied up to a metal column, and Patterson was beating him with a baseball bat. Jake's whole body was covered with blood, and he was screaming with pain. I don't know how I will be able to go through these few days until Patterson's function. I just hope all of these nightmares would be ended at least after that. If not, I don't know how would I be able to live with the regret about my stupidity. However, now I have to face my life. I can't just lie down on my bed until his stupid function. I took a wash and changed clothing. Then I went down and prepared breakfast for us. Dad came to the kitchen when I was cooking. "Are you not well?" he asked. "No, Dad. I am fine," I replied quickly. Mom didn't come home last night. She had to work overnight," he said casually. "How did you eat?" "I am so sorry. I couldn't cook dinner." I apologized. "I ordered food. I left some food for you in the fridge. I thought you were sick, didn't want to disturb you," he said with the same casual tone. Then he took his morning tea, which I have poured to his mug, and went to his room. Dad is acting weirdly sometimes. What I meant by weird is that he sometimes acts as he cares about me. But it only happens when Mom is not around. However, overall, Dad is more sympathetic to me than Mom or Shane. After finish cooking, I left home to go to university. Today I have a lecture with Mr. Patterson. I should go early to the lecture hall, and find a place where he cannot see me easily. Jake called me when I was on the bus. "Sarah, you won't even believe what has happened." He sounds so exciting. "What? What has happened?" I asked. "Our dean called me in the morning. He said they are going to reconsider our punishment because they have got many requests from our lecturers for that. He also said that they got requests from our football team sponsors to reconsider this decision," he said happily. "Great. That means what Patterson said was true. He has already started working. That's great news, Jake. Everything is going to be all right." "How is Luke now?" I asked. "He gained consciousness. But doctors gave him some injection to put him to sleep for some more time. Doctors said his body needs rest more than any medicine. He will be very happy when he hears the news, right?" I asked. "Of course, Princess. This news gave all of us hope when we were totally lost. You know what, Shane even hugged me when I told him about this," Jake said, laughing. "It seems like you two are getting along pretty well, after all," I said, laughing. "Of course. No matter what he did, he is going to be my brother-in-law. So, we should get along pretty well," he replied, still laughing. I can just ignore all the mental battles I am having right now when I hear his laugh. Your happiness is all I want, Jake. If I can keep you laughing happily like this, I am willing to sacrifice anything. I love you more than anything, babe. Everything is going to be all right, isn't it, Jake? We will have a happy time pretty soon, right? I asked. Yes, Princess. Just wait a bit more. With this news, I feel like I got a new life. Now I am certain that all of these would end soon. After that, let's start from where we left that night, okay, Princess? He asked playfully. I laughed at what he said. Same time, my whole face turned red, remembering about that hot, romantic night I was having with him. I feel like I want to kiss your rosy, warm lips right now, babe. God. I miss you so much. After we get married, I don't think I will be able to keep my hands off from you even for a minute, he said. I felt like everything is back to normal already. How devastated both of us were. We couldn't even think about what will happen the next day. We were afraid to even think about that. But now he is even talking about marrying me. After all, it seems like I have taken the right decision no matter what will happen afterward. I miss you too, Jake. I am so happy to let you hold me every minute of our lives together, I said. Love you a lot, princess. Let's get married soon. Now, take care of yourself until I come back, he said, placing a kiss on the phone. Sally literally ran to me when she saw me. Where were you, Sarah? How many times did I call you? I was so worried, she said, angrily. Poor Sally. I saw her calls. But I was not in a mood to answer. I felt so bad about keeping her worried about me. I am so sorry, Sally. I was out of my mind. But you know what? Forget everything, I have to give you good news. I said. Good news. It is even nice to hear that there is good news, she said. Our dean has called Jake in the morning. They are going to reconsider their punishment. Even before I finish what I was saying, she screamed with happiness and hugged me. That is not good news. That is the most wonderful news I have heard. She said, happily. It is like a miracle, isn't it? Even yesterday evening, they said they are not going to re-evaluate their decision. But this morning, they have changed it, she said, after releasing me from her arms. Yes. It is indeed a miracle. I replied immediately. How can I tell her what I have to do to make this miracle happen? I called Jake in the morning. He said Luke is also getting better. It seems everything is getting back to normal. What a relief! Sally said, smiling. Yeah. Everything will get back to normal very soon, I said, looking at her smiling beautiful face. It is after many days I have seen smiling like this. Finally, I could become a reason to bring a smile to my loving ones' faces, right? During the psychology lecture, I sat in a place that is not clearly noticeable to Mr. Patterson. As soon as he came to the lecture hall, he looked around. I knew what his eyes were looking for. I looked down and started to fake reading my notes. During the lecture also he looked at me from time to time. I don't know how he managed to notice me. However, the lecture was perfect as always. No matter how much I hate him, I still love to listen to his lecture. That's the only reason I came to the lecture when I even hate to be near him. Miss Anderson. Please stay for a few minutes after the lecture. Mr. Patterson said after he finished his lecture for today. I was packing my things to go out as soon as possible. But now I have to stay. I have to talk with him alone. I walked up to his table after everyone left. You look happy, Sarah. You look even more beautiful today. Anger, hate, and unhappiness don't suit to your beautiful face. So stay happy like this. He said. Mr. Patterson, why did you ask me to stay? I asked, ignoring everything he said. He has no right to talk to me like this, after everything he put us through. I think the reason for your happiness is Jake told you about the dean's call. As I promised you, I have started my work. He said. Yes. He told me. I replied. Since now you know I have started doing my part, can you please start doing your part too? He asked. What do I have to do? I asked. He just asked me to come for a function with him. Now, what is he asking? I want to take you to a dress designer. They have to take your measurements to design you a dress for the function. What? I can't. I didn't agree to go with you anywhere else. I don't need a dress design. I have a good dress. I said. You don't know about that function, Sarah. It is more sophisticated than you can even imagine. You need a new dress to match that. He said. But I can't go with you anywhere else, I said quickly. Without saying anything, he stared at me sadly. Okay, then if I give you the address, will you go there alone, and give the measurements? Then he asked. I first thought of refusing to go, but then I decided to agree. He has already started to work. If I don't obey him, don't know what he will do. Okay. Send me the address. I will go. May I leave now? I asked. Without waiting for him to reply, I turned around to go. Sarah. Wait, he said quickly. I looked back at him. I spent a whole night talking to people and making necessary arrangements to fulfill my promise. Can't I at least have a smile from you? He asked. The way he asked it could melt anyone's heart. But I was not ready to fall in his traps anymore. If you really care about my smile, you will never make any trouble to my friends, Mr. Patterson. Don't act all innocent and caring. I know very well that you are even ready to kill me to get your revenge, I said angrily. Then I stormed off. Andrew Patterson's POV. I stared for a few minutes at the direction she stormed off. I know she hates me. She doesn't even like to be near me. It hurts me so much. I really miss the way she talked with me early days. How much I love to look at the way she talks and smiles. You are correct, my angel. I am willing to do anything to take my revenge. But I can never kill you. To be honest, I can never hurt you either. I came up with this plan, because other than taking my revenge, my only ambition is making you mine. You don't know how much I love you, Angel. Your stupid lover boy can't even think of competing with me. You have no future with him, my angel. The more you get close to him, the more trouble you will get into. But I can keep my angel happy and comfortable. We can have a beautiful life together with our beautiful kids. Chapter 80. After my discussion with Mr. Patterson, he sent me the address to his dress designer. I went there in the evening. I can imagine how sophisticated his function will be according to the standard of his dress designer. There is no doubt that this place is only for high-class, wealthy people. They won't even hire a person like me to at least work there. All of their employees were also very fashionable and elegant. I wish I agreed to come with Mr. Patterson to this place. I don't even know what to do. I was so afraid that I will make myself a fool in front of all these sophisticated people. Fortunately, nothing of that sort happened. I just went to the welcome desk and told the beautiful young lady that Andrew Patterson sent me here. I was treated like a princess right after I said that. While two girls fully attended to my work for the whole time I was there, several other people involved in my work from time to time. They gave me food and drinks as well. They wanted me to select a design for my dress. Actually, Mr. Patterson has already selected 3 designs. I had to select one from them. No matter how much I hate him, he has good taste. That I must admit. All 3 designs were so beautiful. I didn't know how to select one from them. If this dress is for some other function, I can't even imagine how much I would love to wear one of these beautiful dresses to it. But this function is just an agreement. An agreement to save my loving ones. I have no excitement about that. So I just selected a design without thinking much. Whatever I wear, I have to go with him. So why should I bother? However, after finishing my work there, I called Patterson and informed him. I think he already knew I went there. He was very happy that I obeyed him. He promised me to fulfill his part of the agreement as soon as possible. Everything started to get back to normal, step by step. Jake has given the happy news to Luke. So his condition was getting better too. Shane came home after he made sure that there is nothing to worry about Luke anymore. But Jake stayed with Luke for some time more. After like 4 days, our dean asked all the guys to come for a meeting with the vice-chancellor. We all were impatiently waiting to know the final decision after the meeting. I was waiting with Sally in the canteen. I already knew what will be the final decision, still, I was nervous. That meeting time felt like an eternity. Finally, I got a call from Jake. With shaking fingers I answered it. "Sarah. Our punishment is withdrawn. We are suspended for only 2 weeks. Since we have already suspended for a week now, it is just 1 week more. We all can play for the university team as well. We all just have to support community work for 1 month, that's all." Everything worked out just as we thought. This is a miracle, princess. Even I didn't think they will reduce our punishment to this level, he literally screamed with happiness. How happy he is. Thank you, God, for his happiness. I am so happy, Jake. I don't even have words to explain, I said. I know, princess. I will call you later, babe. I have to inform Luke as well. Anyway, we have to celebrate this, he said. I smiled at his excitement. Okay, Jake. I replied. So, Sally asked as soon as I cut the call. I explained to her the final decision. She hugged me with happiness. Her eyes were filled with happy tears. This all feels like a dream, Sarah. How many things happened within a very short period. However, that dream turned out to be a sweet dream finally, she said happily. I got a text from Mr. Patterson after that. Even if I can't see you now, I can imagine how your face may lit up with a beautiful smile. I have done what I said. I can't wait to take you to my function. This jerk. He is the one who stole my smile in the first place. Now he is trying to be innocent. Thank you, Mr. Patterson. I will do my part of the agreement too, I sent him. Luke called me in the evening. He sounds so happy. Like he is fully recovered. I feel like I have never been sick, Sarah. I am so happy and refreshed, he said happily. So when can you come back? I asked. I wanted to ask him about what Mr. Patterson told me. I have to talk about that openly with him. I think that will help him also. Then he doesn't have to hide his feelings from me. But I have to wait till he is fully recovered. I will be discharged soon. But Mom and Dad want me to stay home for a few days. After that, I can come back, he said. We miss you a lot here, Luke, I said. We? Who are we? He asked, smiling. Well, some people love you a lot, even if you don't know about that. It is a good thing that Shane decided to tell Luke the truth about his feelings towards him. Then I don't have to hide anything. We mean me, Sally and your other friends, I replied, smiling. Ha! Ha! I will come back soon, darling. He said, laughing. Jake had to go to his home the next day because his dad needs him for some urgent business work. Though Jake said we must celebrate this, we didn't get any time to meet alone before he leaves. Since Luke is also not there to help us, it was so hard to find a proper time. We could just talk to each other over the phone. But that time was also limited as he was so busy. However, the day to go for the function also arrived. I didn't tell anything about the function with anyone as I promised. As Mr. Patterson said, the function is at a big hotel in the capital. So I just told Dad that I would be late to come home. I was thinking about what should I tell Jake. If I lie to him, there is a high possibility he senses that I am lying. So I decided I should not tell him anything. Since he is also busy, he won't call me much. So that won't be a problem. On that day, Mr. Patterson asked me to go to that designer shop in the afternoon. He told me that they will help me get dressed, do makeup and everything. So I went there in the afternoon. I was totally awed by the dress they have designed for me. I don't even know if a girl likes me worth wearing such an elegant dress. However, today is almost like Luke's birthday. I got dressed in a beautiful dress with expensive jewelry. They made me look like a princess. The only difference was on Luke's birthday, I was extremely happy and excited, but today, I was crying inside. I just wanted all this drama to be finished soon. I was feeling like I cheat Jake. That feeling was killing me. After I get dressed, Mr. Patterson came to pick me up. When he saw me, he stared at me without saying anything. "Shall we go?" I asked, annoyingly. "Yeah. But you look exactly like an angel, today," he said. "Money can turn any ugly girl to an angel, Mr. Patterson," I replied with the same tone. "I agree. But it is not the case with you. You are beautiful even without any of these. But today you look even more beautiful," he said, not taking his eyes off me. "Shall we go? I just want all these to be finished soon. I agreed to go for a function with you. Not to let you flirt with me. I don't even want to look beautiful in any other man's eyes. I want to look beautiful for my Jake, only for him," I said angrily. I know I was harsh. Mr. Patterson's face got darker. He looked sad. But why should I care? He has no right to put me in a situation like this. However, after that, he didn't say anything. He opened the door for me and then he drove silently. He has arranged a helicopter to go to the capital. It was the first time I got to ride in a helicopter, but I didn't feel any excitement. Mr. Patterson was also silent for the whole ride. He has arranged a black limousine for us to travel to the hotel where the function held. When the car stopped at the hotel entrance, I was totally speechless. The hotel was the most luxurious in the country. I have just heard about this hotel, but I never thought it is this big and sophisticated. We had to go through several security procedures since we entered the hotel gate. What Mr. Patterson told me was true. This must be a function for very high-class people. I don't think even if I earn my whole life I would be able to have a party in a place like this. The function was arranged as an outdoor party. Decorations and everything were so elegant. I felt really small and worthless when I observed the people who have attended the party. There were a lot of people whom I have seen on television. Some of them are celebrities, some of them are big business people, some of them are high-ranking government officers and politicians. Mr. Patterson is also from a high-class family, so he is a perfect match for this occasion. But I don't have to do anything with these big people. I don't belong here. Why he wanted to take me to this function? Fortunately, Mr. Patterson went for a corner table where people don't notice much. Still, a few people came to us and talked with him. They all asked about me as well. They all wanted to know if I am his fiancé. Mr. Patterson just laughed and said no. She is one of my best friends, else I would kill him. What is this function for? I asked after some time. Without saying anything he smiled. Well, Mr. Patterson, there is no harm in telling me now. We are already here. Whatever the purpose of this function is, it is not like I am going to run away, I said. He stared at me for a few seconds. Then he smiled. Just a birthday party, dear, he said casually. Birthday party? But whose birthday party it is? I asked. Be patient. You are about to know, he said with a smile. Well. That smile seemed so mysterious to me. Whose birthday party, it really is? Ladies and gentlemen, I warmly welcome you all to this fabulous evening. I am Don Sherman. I am the compere for this very special occasion. Well. It seems like I am about to find out. Chapter 81. Today we are going to celebrate a special birthday of a person we all love and respect. This is not just a birthday party. So many wonderful things are yet to happen. So many good pieces of news are yet to be heard. Therefore, without wasting your precious time, I am going to invite the person of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our country's future and the leader of our hearts, Victor McMiller. Don Sherman, our host for the evening, announced. With everyone's applause, a middle-aged man came to the stage. Have you seen a middle-aged man who has a great personality that makes you think he is smarter and handsome than most of the young men? Well, he is that kind of person. I have seen him on television and in newspapers. But when I see him live for the first time, he looks so familiar. I am not interested in politics at all, but as far as I know, he is a prominent politician in the country. He is also a wealthy businessman. Above everything, he is going to run for the next presidential election, and everyone predicts that he is going to be our next president. So, it is his birthday. I was staring at the way he waved at everyone while thinking why he looks so familiar. Good evening, everyone. It is so much a pleasure for me to see you all this evening. Thank you very much for accepting my invitation to your busy schedules. Victor McMiller began to speak. Even the way he speaks simply showed his great personality. He is indeed cut out for the leadership, there is no doubt. As you all know, I am not a person who celebrates events in my personal life. But today, it is different because it is not just my birthday. I have to make an announcement as well. Sarah, I was listening to Vicer McMiller, giving my full focus when Mr. Patterson whispered to my ear. I looked at him. Let's go to the front, he whispered again. Why? This place is good. I objected. Please let's go, he said again. I wanted to just listen to Victor McMiller's talk. If I keep on objecting to what Mr. Patterson asked from me, he won't let me concentrate on the speech. So I agreed. We walked near to the stage. Victor McMiller looks even more handsome when you see him closely. I know people spread many gossips about my family because I keep information about my family as a secret. I honestly don't like crossing my private life with my political career. But today, I am going to introduce my loving family to you all. There is a reason for that, but we are yet to know that. Victor McMiller said, smiling. His smile looks so familiar, even more than his face. This is my beautiful wife, Maya, he announced, and a beautiful lady came to the stage from the small room behind the curtains. She looks so classy, but she was in a wheelchair. I have seen her somewhere. Her face looks even more familiar. She is a leading lawyer, and I think most of you know her, though you didn't know her as my wife, he said, smiling. I was still staring at his gorgeous, kind-looking wife. God! Why these two people look so familiar to me? Like I have met them before, which has never happened for sure. Is it just because I have seen both of them on the TV? You all may know I have only one son. Please welcome my son, Jacob McMiller, he then announced. Jacob McMiller. Jacob. I forgot to breathe as I saw who came to the stage next. It was Jake. My Jake in flesh. He was dressed in a tuxedo, and he looked handsome than ever. He was glowing like a star. Now I know why I felt Victor and Maya so familiar. Jake's look is a combination of both of their looks. Am I dreaming? I pinched myself to make sure I am not dreaming. How this can be possible? Is my Jake really Victor McMiller's only son? The only son of the next president in our country. Victor McMiller was speaking some things more, but I didn't hear any of those. Jake didn't see me. He was just smiling while holding his mom's hand. I knew his family is a wealthy and high class, but not even in my weirdest dreams, I imagined something like this. Who am I compared to him? His dad is going to be the first person in our country. His mother is already the most successful lawyer in the country. My parents barely make enough money to survive. I was not even capable of conceding how wealthy and respectable his family really is. Who am I compared to him? His dad is going to be the first person in our country. His mother is already the most successful lawyer in the country. My parents barely make enough money to survive. I was not even capable of conceding how wealthy and respectable his family really is. Is that why he hides every single detail about his family from me? He has just told me that he is the only child, and his family is a wealthy business family. I didn't try to dig into details as well. Even when I got to know the relationship between him and Mr. Patterson's family, I didn't try to discover more. Just because I trust him with my life. I always believed he has a fair reason to hide everything from me. I love him so deeply. So I never even thought of questioning about his secret life. But this feels too much for me. When I think back, it doesn't even feel real that a guy from such a big family obsessed over me. God. It is like I am going crazy. Sarah. Stay focused, the best thing is yet to happen. Mr. Patterson's whisper took me back to the real world. When I look at the stage, there was another man. He is the current president of our country. I didn't even notice when he came to the stage. Our current president is the real reason for who I am today. He is my mentor and my guardian in my political career. He is indeed like a father to me. He always treated me like his own son. However, I think it is high time that we build a real relationship between our families. Victor McMiller was saying. To accomplish that, I have to invite another special person to this stage. It is our current president's only granddaughter, Marina, as he announced that a beautiful young lady came to the stage, and stood beside the current president, holding his hand. She looked sophisticated, it was even hard to say that she is a real person. She looked more like a carefully sculpted statue. Though I am wearing an elegant designer-made dress with expensive jewelry and I look my perfect self, I don't think I am even suitable to stand next to her. She is that beautiful. I hereby proposing my only son to this gorgeous young lady Marina. When Victor McMiller announced, everyone started applauding. I felt like my heart stopped. My whole body felt lifeless. I will surely fell down, if not Mr. Patterson holds me from my waist, putting his arm around me. It is a great delight and an honor to have such a brilliant young man like your son in our family. Marina and Jacob, please come forward. The current president David Watson said. Jake and that girl came forward. Then David Watson's took Jake's hand and that girl's hand. He kept the girl's hand on Jake's hand. You were friends since childhood. So I have no doubts that you two can lead a life with lots of love and happiness. Since you two are still studying, we are not going to discuss your marriage, but let's have your engagement soon. David Watson said. This is impossible. There is no way Jake agreeing to engage with anyone else. He would just storm off, scolding everyone. Please, Jake, tell them that you are loving someone else. So you can't get engaged to this girl, no matter how beautiful and powerful she is. I forgive you for hiding about your family. I promise I won't even mention any of these. Please, tell them that you are mine. Tell them that you have swear to love me until our last breath. Please, Jake. All these people don't know about me. That's why they make you engage with someone else. Let them know, Jake. Let them know how much we love each other, and we are inseparable no matter what happened. While tears were running down my cheeks, I was staring at my Jake, without even blinking. But he didn't storm off or try to object. Instead, he was smiling, holding that girl's hand. His unique smile that I am willing to die for, he is giving it to her in front of my eyes. David Watson's was speaking a few more things, but I couldn't hear any of those. I was just thinking why Jake didn't object to this stupid drama. This is the 21st century. Who proposes their child to someone in front of a crowd like this? This is totally ridiculous. Their parents are insane. Please, Jake. Please walk away from this stupidity. Victor McMiller cut his birthday cake. All the people who were on the stage seemed so happy. They were all wishing him a happy birthday. Jake was no different. He hugged his father and wished. His face was filled with happiness. He looked so divine. Like he was just sent from heaven. How much I love to see this happiness in your face. I am willing to sacrifice anything to see this happiness. Your happiness always made me happy and satisfied. But today, I am crying right in front of you, my love. My heart feels like it shattered to a million tiny pieces. My whole body is burning. But you don't even see me, babe. You, who saw me from wherever I sit during your football match among thousands of other spectators, can't see me right now. Though I am right in front of you. Am I that invisible in the presence of your great family and your future wife? Even though I hate Mr. Patterson so much, I was so glad that he was with me during that moment. If he was not there, holding me, I may have kissed the ground so much earlier. I warmly invite the beautiful couple of the day to start the celebration with the first dance. It was Don Sherman. Then without hesitation, Jake took that girl, Marina's hand, and they started dancing when everyone was clapping for them. I have gone through so much pain and heartbreaks in my life, but nothing can compare to what I was experiencing right now. The person who said that he loves me more than anything, who asked me to believe him with my life. He is dancing with his pretty future wife, so happily. His hands were wrapped around her waist the same way he wrapped his arms around me. She was having one of her arms on his shoulder, and her other hand was on his chest, right in front of his heart, which he said beats just for me. All the guests were whispering what a matching couple they are. Some women said it is a match made in heaven. Yet, they are right. Both of them look perfect with each other. The way their bodies move with the music, clearly showed the sync between them. No wonder they are friends since childhood. But Jake, how could you cheat me like this? Who am I for you? Just a girl to play with while you are at the university? Why did you choose an innocent girl like me to play your game? Don't you even have sympathy? When the music stopped, they stopped their dance. The next second, Jake bent towards the girl, and kissed her lips. He kissed her lips. The same way he kissed me with those warm lips. I have seen enough. More than enough. I should leave before my head explode. I should leave. Not just from this big, sophisticated party, but from my pathetic life also. There is no one I can trust or I can love. My life is a complete joke for everyone. I escaped from Mr. Patterson's hands and tried to walk away. But I was so weak and nervous. Also, I was wearing these stupid high heels. I couldn't even take 3 steps. I was going to fall down, and I just hold the tablecloth of the table in front of me. All the glasses on the table started to fall off, making a huge sound. If it was some other time, I would feel really ashamed. It was such an embarrassing situation. But I didn't feel any embarrassment right then. I just wanted to leave. That's all. Totally ignoring what has just happened, I looked up, trying to walk away. When I look up, Jake was staring at me. Then for the first time in the evening, our eyes met each other. Chapter 82, When I look up, Jake was staring at me. Then for the first time in the evening, our eyes met each other. His eyes widened with wonder. He never expected to see me here. That happy smile vanished from his face in a split second. His face turned white, like even the last drop of blood was drained out from his handsome face. My eyes were flooded with tears. My vision was blurred, but I could still see the panic in his eyes. Why you cheated me, Jake? I wanted to run to him and scream. I wanted to ask him how he made up his mind to kiss someone else. But at that moment I didn't want to ruin their beautiful evening. You can call me a fool. But I have never hurt anyone because they have hurt me. So how can I hurt the very person I love more than my life, though he cheated me? Ignoring those eyes, I ran away from him. Please forgive us for the interruption. My friend is not well. I will go and take care of her. Please continue the celebration. We are so sorry, I heard Mr. Patterson was apologizing. It was me who should apologize. But how could I? I was running without even knowing where I was going. Avoiding all the people, I was running like a fool in that gigantic hotel premises. I don't even know how many times I fell down, but I didn't care. Finally, I came to a small garden space. No one was there. Continuous crying and running have drained my energy. I felt like I can't take another step forward. I sat on the green grass, panting my heart out. I heard a footstep. Someone is coming to me. It must be Jake. No matter what he did, he cannot just neglect me after seeing me like that. Yes. He is coming for me. Walking away from all those big people, he is coming for his poor girlfriend. Those footsteps stopped behind me. I didn't turn around to see. You owe me a big explanation for all of this, Jake. Sarah, a deep voice raised behind me. Well. I am so stupid and naive to hope for the impossible. That voice did not belong to the person I wished for. Mr. Patterson kneeled down beside me. Where is him? There is no limitation for my stupidity. So I asked that from Mr. Patterson. Who? Jake? He is at the party, Sarah, he replied. Didn't he come after me? I asked again. How can he come after you? He is needed there, he said gently. I know that. But don't he need to be here more than that? They are not going to die if he leaves them for a few minutes. But those few minutes with him could make a huge change in my life. Why he can't understand it? Maybe he values his family more than me. Well, I don't blame him. He may have a loving family, not like mine. I don't want him to treat me, keeping me above his family. But at this time, after everything I have seen and heard, I need him more than his family, right? But it seems he doesn't care about it. Maybe everything he said to me is just a big fat lie. I am just a toy for him to play with. Sarah, you wanna go in? Mr. Patterson asked, sympathetically. Go in? To see what? To see how the person I love kiss another girl right in front of my eyes? No, thank you. Please take me home, I said. Are sure? He asked. Of course. I wanted to go home more than ever. Okay, he replied. Then he stood up and gave his hand for me to stand up. I took his hand for the support and stood up. Then he started walking with me, having his arm around my waist. I didn't object. I was exhausted. Actually, I was grateful to him in a way, for taking care of me. I took his hand for the support and stood up. Then he started walking with me, having his arm around my waist. I didn't object. I was exhausted. Actually, I was grateful to him in a way, for taking care of me. We had to walk by the outdoor space where the party was held. I wanted to keep my eyes down and not even have a look at what is going on in the function. But my eyes were out of control. I saw Jake. He was talking with his dad and the current president. He looked calm and happy. Even after seeing me, he managed to stay like that. I looked down immediately. Don't be so stupid, Sarah. Haven't you seen enough? Mr. Patterson took me near the lobby. Sarah. Wait here. I will come quickly, he told me and then left. I was just walking here and there without any aim when suddenly someone grabbed me from my arm and pulled me to a corner. I should be frightened, right? I should have shouted. But honestly, I didn't feel anything. I don't think even if someone stabs me right now, I would care. That person closed my mouth with his palm, so I couldn't shout even if I wanted. My favorite cologne smell filled my lungs. Yeah. You guessed it right. It was Jake. Sarah. It is me. Don't shout, he whispered to my ear. I know it is you. You don't have to tell that specifically. He removed his palm from my mouth and made me face him. Sarah. Please. Don't misunderstand anything. I know I owe you a big explanation, and I know I am pretty late for that already. But please trust me. He said in a pleading voice. Trust you? I chuckled. It is easier to ask someone to trust you. But it is really hard to trust anyone after getting betrayed by the person you love most, I said. I didn't betray you, Sarah. I have not cheated you either, he said sadly. If kissing another girl and agreeing to marry her soon, right in front of my eyes, is not cheating, what can possibly call as cheating, Jake? I asked sarcastically. Princess, he began to tell something. Don't call me princess, I yelled at him. He stared at me with shock. His eyes were turned to red like he was about to cry. But why should I care? I have already cried until I have no tears left. Sarah. All of this is just a drama. But my love for you is not. My love for you is pure and eternal. I know I should have told you about my family much earlier, but I have reasons to hide everything. I have a reason for all these things that happened today, he said in a broken voice. So tell me, Jake. Tell me, what are the reason you have to do something like this? I screamed. Sarah. Please don't shout. He said. Why, Jake? Are you scared that your high-class friends will get to know about me? Sarah. Please. I beg you, I can't tell you everything right now. I should be at the party. Please give me some time, I will tell all the truth. I promise you, he pleaded. If you want to give me an explanation of everything, you can do it now, Jake. Else you can keep your stupid explanation to yourself, I said in a voice I never expected to talk to him with. I wish I could do it now. But please try to understand me. My father may already be looking for me. I came to talk to you here not because I could, but because I couldn't even breathe properly after seeing you crying like that, he said, trying to touch my face. I slapped his hand without even thinking twice. Really? You couldn't even breathe properly? I saw you happily smile with your father and your future in-laws, I said. People have to pretend things no matter what they feel inside, he said in a totally broken voice. Then go and pretend. Like you did all the time. You know what, Jacob McMiller? You are pretty good at hiding things and pretending something totally different, I said. Sarah. Please. Don't you believe in our love? Please don't hurt me like this. I am already in hell. Please, you are the only comfort I have. He pleaded. I thought the same about you, Jake. But you just made my life worse than hell, I said in an emotionless tone. Sarah, Mr. Patterson's voice raised behind us. I turned around to face him. If you are ready we can leave now, he said. Yes, Mr. Patterson, we can leave now. I have nothing to do here, I said, looking at Jake. Sarah. Please don't leave like that. At least please tell me that you still love me. I have never seen Jake being this vulnerable in front of anyone. It hurts me. But he deserves it. If you want her to love you, you shouldn't have agreed to marry Marina in the first place, brother. Mr. Patterson said. Who gave you permission to intervene in our problems? You took her here purposely to let her witness all these, didn't you? You filthy animal. Jake ran to Mr. Patterson and grabbed him from his shirt collar. Jake. Stop this madness, I said firmly. But he was still holding Mr. Patterson's collar. So it is his fault now? For taking me here and made me see things that I should have known much earlier. If he didn't take me here, I would be just waiting in my cold room, thinking about you and holding my phone until you call me after you get some free time from your father's business work. You wanted to keep me like that, right, Jake? Like a frog in the well, I asked. He then removed his hands from Mr. Patterson's collar and looked at me. This time his eyes were not just red. They were truly filled with tears. There was a time I would run to you and wipe those tears from your eyes, Jake. But now, I don't even know if I will feel like that ever again. Let's go, Mr. Patterson, I said, walking towards Mr. Patterson. He looked at Jake one more time and put his arm around my waist to support me. Then we started walking away. From the mirror in front of us, I saw Jake was staring at us with tearful eyes. Chapter 83, You know how hard it is to just ignore the tears in the eyes of the person you love most. Well, if you don't have that kind of experience, believe me, it hurts a lot more than crying on your own. No matter how Jake behaved today, my heart couldn't stand seeing him in tears. I was so close to break down and run back to him and wipe those tears from his handsome eyes. Fortunately, Mr. Patterson was with me. He didn't let me act that stupid and weak. He made me get into the car and drove away fast. I wanted to look back at Jake. I wanted to see his face again, but I couldn't. Both I and Mr. Patterson were extremely silent until we get into the helicopter. Tears were running down from my eyes without any rest, but I was totally silent. When the helicopter started to fly, my temper got suddenly changed. We have already driven a few miles away from Jake. But after start flying, I felt like I am getting away from him forever. It felt like I am losing him forever. This made me cry loud. I was screaming and crying. Totally ignoring the outer world. Everything that has happened between me and Jake, since the very first day I saw him came to my mind. Especially those few romantic moments we shared. The first day he gave me a real kiss, how much panicked I got. After that day, how many times he has kissed me. Sure, there were heat and desire in those kisses, but more than that, those kisses were filled with love. So much love. How he managed to kiss another girl like that when we share something so pure between us. You could kill me, Jake, without letting me go through this pain. I can't let you be someone else's. I can endure anything in my life, I am strong. But I am not strong enough to lose you. What do I have, Jake, to fight with her to win you? She is so beautiful and wealthy. A perfect match for you in every way. I will never be able to win this battle, Jake. I will lose you. I don't think even you will support me winning this, right, Jake? You couldn't just spare some time for me to explain everything. You had to run back to your big family when the girl who loves you more than her life is in such a situation. You will just forget me, won't you, Jake? Our love story will be just another story of the difference between wealth and poverty. But, I can't live without you, Jake. How can I even think of my life without you? Suddenly, I felt really difficult to breathe with all the crying, and it made me cough. My lungs were totally out of the air, I felt like I was going to die. Sarah, Mr. Patterson's panicked voice raised beside me. For all this time, he didn't talk to me or try to comfort me. He let me grieve in my own way. But now he was holding me and screaming at me panicky. Breathe. Breathe. Sarah, he screamed while trying to loosen up my dress. I knew I should support him to save my life. But I had no energy left within me. However, he managed to get the oxygen mask and put it. Then he reached for the back zipper of my dress and made my dress a bit loose. Breathe. Breathe. Angel. You are all I have. I can't lose you, I heard him screaming just before everything blackout. Andrew Patterson's POV. Everything worked just as I planned. I got to know about Uncle Victor's idea to propose Jake to Marina on his birthday even before Jake got to know about that. I planned for this since then. When Jake got himself in the trouble after getting to a fight with those idiots, I got the perfect opportunity to execute my plan. I knew that Sarah knows nothing about Jake's family. I knew, getting to know how big his family really is could make Sarah bothered. She is a simple girl, but she is smart. I was sure that she will understand how it will be to deal with such a big family. While she is concerned like that, she gets the most shocking news of Jake's dad proposing Jake to another girl. Not just another girl. The granddaughter of the current president. A girl who is extremely beautiful and classy. A perfect match for Jake and his family. I knew how she will feel by then. She will feel betrayed. She will start to hate him. I also knew that Jake is not capable of running after her and explain everything to her. His dad just recovered from a heart attack. He does not dare to do anything against his dad. Poor Sarah doesn't know anything about these things. She may think that Jake completely ignored her. I know it will make her totally break. It will pierce her little heart. I hate to hurt her like that. But what can I do? I want to make Jake suffer, and I want to make you mine too, my little angel. Did you see how Jake's face distorted with pain when I hold you and walked you to the car? That's the pain I want to see in his face. I will make sure he is having that pain forever with him. Actually, everything was under my control until we get to the helicopter. Everything happened just as I wanted. But when you started suffocating, that made me panicked, my little angel. I didn't think you will come to a status like this. If I knew, I promise I won't take you there. I value your life more than anything. You are all I have. I was so panicked. It took me a while to get the oxygen mask for her. While screaming at the pilot to get us to the nearest hospital, I tried to lose her dress a bit to make her ease. That was not an easy task. That dress perfectly clung to her body. However, I found the zipper in the back of her dress and opened it a bit, and loosened her dress. This made her a bit relaxed, and with the aid of the oxygen mask, her breathing also got steady. I was still holding her in my arms after landed and going to the hospital in a car. I could see half of her chest. The beginning of her perfect bosoms. How much I have dreamt of holding her like this and, you know, see her in the way I desired. Though she has an affair with Jake, I hope she is still a virgin. I wanted to be the person who took away that from her. Now I have all the opportunities to do whatever I want with her body. I could make all my dreams come true. She was not conscious. She can't protest, I thought while looking at her. But do you really think I am that kind of person? No. I am not. I am not going to make her mine when she is not conscious to embrace my touch. I want her sound awake when I communicate with her beautiful body as I crave. I will make her totally forget Jake. I know I am capable of that. If she wishes, I can just hypnotize her and make all her memories of Jake completely wipe out. Then she has nothing to worry about. Jake can rot in as he deserves, and my little angel can lead a happy, comfortable life with me. Sarah's POV. My head was aching. I slowly opened my eyes. This is not my bed. This is not a place I am familiar with. Where am I? Looking at the white wall in front of me, I tried to recall. Sarah, a familiar voice raised, and someone gently touched my arm. Mr. Patterson, I managed to say. But it came out as just a whisper. How are you feeling now, Sarah? He asked kindly. I don't know. My head is aching. Where am I? I asked. You got difficult to breathe when we were in the helicopter. I took you here. We are now in hospital. Don't worry, you just had a panic attack. He said. I replied. I closed my eyes again. Everything that has happened last night started to replay in my mind. Those memories began to we.t my eyes once again. Sarah. I can't ask you not to worry. I know that is impossible to do. But I beg you, please try your best to stay calm, Mr. Patterson said. His voice was filled with concern. I didn't say anything. I never thought I would feel like this, but at that moment, I was so glad that he is with me and taking care of me. On the other hand, I should be thankful to him for taking me there. Otherwise, I don't know anything. I would always stay in the dark. Jake has no right to hide all these from me. It is not like that he got to know about this proposal at the function. He didn't look surprised at all, that means he already knew about his dad's plan. So, he has the responsibility of telling me. Don't I deserve to know? When Jake acts like this, I felt like what if Mr. Patterson told me the truth? What if Jake and his family are truly behind Mr. Patterson's girlfriend's death? No. That is not possible. Though he hid things from me and cheated me, I don't think he is capable of doing something like that. But do I really know Jake after all? The Jake I knew is not capable of cheating me either. The Jake I knew didn't even let other girls come near him. So, I doubt if I know him right. God. I think I am really going insane. I can't understand what is the truth and what is not anymore. Mr. Patterson was gently caressing my head. If this is any other time, I would just slap him hard. But now, I actually felt it is comforting for my aching head. Chapter 84, Mr. Patterson took me home the next day morning. There was no one when I come home. For a moment, I was happy that my family doesn't worry about me, otherwise, I would have to give them an explanation for not coming home yesterday. I directly went to my room and dropped myself to the bed. I was feeling a bit dizzy because of the medicine. So I closed my eyes, trying to get some sleep. After all, I can forget everything at least when I am sleeping. I don't know how long I have been sleeping. I woke up with someone knocking on my door. I didn't feel strong enough to even get up from the bed. Then only I remembered that I didn't eat anything after I come home. Mr. Patterson tried his best to take me somewhere to eat, but I kindly refused. Who can care about food when you are feeling dead inside? Whoever the person at my door knocked again. Sarah, Shane's voice raised from the outside. He even tried to open the door, but I had it locked from inside. Wait. I am coming, I said. Then I managed to go and opened the door. I had to walk holding to the wall and the furniture to not fall down. Sarah, Shane started to saying something as soon as I opened the door, but he paused after seeing my face. He stared at me for a few seconds like he saw a ghost. Then he continued speaking. You have a visitor, he said. Visitor, my heart began to beat faster. Is it Jake? Maybe he came to apologize. But my expectation just died as I saw the person came behind Shane. I didn't expect to see him at this time at all. Luke! I screamed involuntarily. Luke smiled worriedly. Aren't you supposed to stay in bed rest? I asked. He said he has something very urgent to discuss with you, Shane said. His voice clearly said how confused he has got with Luke's sudden appearance. Luke smiled weakly at him. I will stay downstairs, Sonny said, looking at both of us suspiciously. Then he went down the stairs. Luke entered my room without even asking my permission. Then he sat on my bed. I closed the door, and leaned to the wall, staring at him. Your phone is not working, he complained. My eyes moved to the small pouch I carried to the celebration. My phone must be still in it. I think it was switched off automatically due to a low battery. I didn't remember about it until Luke asked about it. I used to keep my phone switch on all the time because I didn't want Jake to worry about me. He should be able to reach me anytime he wants. But now, I don't think he genuinely worries about me anymore. I released a sigh. Jake and I both tried to reach you a lot. We both were worried so much, he said again since I was silent. Worried? I chuckled. Don't laugh like that, Sarah, he said painfully. Jake called Andrew as well, but he refused to tell us anything about you. Jake wanted to come here looking for you. Then why didn't he come? Couldn't he leave her loving future wife? I asked sarcastically. Sarah! Please, don't talk like this. You know exactly what kind of a guy Jake really is. Do I really know about him, Luke? I highly doubt I know anything about him. Sarah! I am not saying Jake is 100% right. He should have told you about all these much earlier. But that doesn't mean his love for you is not real, Luke said. Luke, I don't even want to talk about him anymore. He had the chance to tell me everything before things get this serious. But he didn't even care to give me an explanation even after I saw everything. Even now, he sent you. Looking for me. If his love is real, I don't think he will treat me like this. I said angrily. He didn't send me, Sarah. I volunteered to come because he is not in a position to come right now. Wow! Luke! Even now, after everything, you are still trying to protect him. I really wish I have someone like you to love me. I am not trying to protect him, Sarah. I am here to help you to get rid of this misunderstanding. I just want to tell you everything. Really? After I witnessed everything from my own eyes, you think I have misunderstood things? So that's my fault now? How can I trust whatever the thing you are going to tell me when you act like a devoted, loyal slave to Jacob McMiller, Luke? I know, Sarah. You are angry with me too. I indeed hid everything about Jake from you, but I have never lied to you, he said in a painful voice. You both have told me nothing but lies, Luke. Letting my anger out, I screamed at him. Can you tell me when did I lie to you? He asked, staring to my eyes. You lied to me the moment you told me it is Shane you love when you are truly in love with Jake. I didn't expect to tell him about it in this way. But certain scenarios make us helpless to do things we didn't plan at all. Luke's face turned pale like he saw a ghost. He stared at me for some time without saying anything. Luke has done nothing but helps me all this time. How I became this cruel to hurt him like this when I exactly know he lied to me because he didn't want to hurt me. I couldn't stand his gaze anymore. I looked down. I am so sorry for lying to you, Sarah. I always want you two to be happy. I didn't want to ruin it by telling you about my feelings, that's why I lied. Otherwise, I had no intention of lying to you, he said in a broken voice. Please forgive me, Luke. I didn't want to hurt you like this. I don't even know what am I thinking and what am I doing anymore. I thought, but I didn't convert them to words. Jake and I grew up together, Sarah. Jake's dad is very strict about the friends he has. So Jake literally had no long-term friends other than me. It may be the reason why we became so close to each other. I have never been close to any guy or a girl than I have been close to Jake. So I think it is natural for me to fall in love with him. My love for him grows up each and every day, Sarah. There is no limit to it. When I first got to know about his feelings towards you, it made me wanted to kill myself. I couldn't even think of sharing him with someone else. You know how I made up my mind and decided that I should help you too with my life? He asked. I didn't say anything. I don't really know the answer to it as well. If I were in his position, will I be able to make up my mind like that? Jake is not a very emotional guy, Sarah. Other than his parents and me, I have never seen him paying any special consideration to anyone. But how he changed after he got feelings for you actually surprised me. He just wanted to be at every place where he could predict that you may go. Even at a football match, among thousands of spectators, he could see where you were, and your mere presence made him confident about himself. Though he didn't even talk to you face to face, he spent hours talking to your photos on his phone. So day by day, I realized how much he loves you. I understood that he can't think of anyone in that special way other than about you. So I decided to make up my mind and support him. He said. His words made my eyes wee. No matter what I felt in a haste, deep down my heart I believe that Jake still loves me. Come sit here, I was sobbing, closing my face from both of my palms when Luke called me. He walked to me and put his hand around my waist as I didn't move. He walked me to the bed and made me sit. Then he sat beside me and took my hand in his. He knew that one day, you would have to face this type of an unpleasant situation, and it will hurt you so much. That is one of the major reasons he didn't want to let you know about his feelings earlier. Luke said, caressing my hand. Also another disaster happened during those days. Most of the people didn't know anything about Jake's dad's family life. He always kept it a secret because he knew he got so many enemies. He wanted to protect his family. However, Jake's mom faced that tragic accident when we were in high school. It was kind of a turning point in their lives. Jake's dad wanted them to be extra careful because he suspected that the accident is one of his enemy's work. His intelligence team warns that there can be a risk to Jake's life as well. Jake's dad sent him to a high school here because he wanted to keep Jake away from all this political drama. However, after that incident, Jake couldn't even visit his home whenever he needs. Sometimes he didn't go home for months. Jake was so afraid that people around him would get into trouble because of him. So he even asked me to stay away from him as much as possible. Little by little, he started to spend a lonely life than ever. In that type of situation, he didn't want to start an affair with you. Put your life into danger, Luke kept on saying. God! That is really pitiful. I don't know how Jake managed to stay like that. Stay away from his family, friends, and everyone. It must be very hard and frustrating for him. He suffered a lot. Seeing you and not being able to express his feelings. I tried to tell you about him a few times. But he stopped me, saying he just wants to see you live happily, and he didn't want to make you his, and put your life into danger. However, as written on our fate, you came to the same university as us. On the very first day, we saw you at the faculty. Jake got really upset because he knew that seeing you every day for 4 years will be T0RTURE he can't undergo. He even tried to change the university. But his dad insisted he should be here. When we were in high school, we didn't know that you were getting bullied and treated that badly by everyone. Jake was furious, seeing you were treated like that. He asked me to be a member of Shane's gang, and try my best to protect you. He found all the information about you. After knowing how miserable and frustrating your life is, he decided that he should tell you about his feelings. I still remember the day he told me about his decision. I know that I am putting her life also in danger, but I will protect her with my life. I can't let her suffer alone like this. At least now she will have me to share everything. Those are the exact words he said to me. My heart melted down with unbearable love for my Jake. Oh! Jake! My sweet Jake, I remembered the very first note he kept for me along with a hot chocolate. Drink and smile, that's what the note said. I also got the first message from him on that day. How much my life changed since then. I was an ugly, useless everyone hates. But with his love, I am not getting bullied anymore. I have started making friends. Even my brother started treats me much better than earlier. I am started to getting the attention of people. He changed my life from a miserable hell to joyful heaven. How much he cared for me during this time. How much he loved me. How could I act that silly at that party? Didn't he always ask me to trust him and his love? Didn't I promise him to trust him no matter what? So how could I break that promise so quickly? Then the way he kissed that girl started to flash back on my mind. How he holds her. How their lips met each other. How their eyes were closed, embracing the sensation. There can be a fair reason for everything. But why did he kiss her like that? What is the rationale behind that? I felt like I was in hot plate. What should I do? The rest of the audiobooks will be uploaded in the next episode. Join us on Patreon to listen to more unlimited audiobooks.